And that there aren't any exams being done later this week for any of you. So my name is Marcus Borg, and I'm the project leader here at the TEDxSSE. I am very happy that so many of you could make it. I'm also especially happy that our sponsors could be here for the event. We have Pro Sales, Diplomat Communications, and my academy present here at the night. So if you want to talk to them with any of them on the break, I encourage you all to do so. I'm really proud to be here organizing this event. It wouldn't have been possible without the awesome project group that we have, especially thanks to Adamas, wherever you are, who have helped all the speakers and I getting prepped. For the schedule, we're going to start off now with our first speakers, and then we have in total 3 speakers this evening, and between each speaker there will be a shorter break of around 20 minutes where you can go and grab a beer or cider at the pub at the bar. And also we won't be using microphones, I think, during this weekend, during this evening. So please try to be extra silent when the speakers are up, because we are filming this, so we don't want your special ringtone to be remembered forever by the video. But first up, we have Diplomat Communications, and they are introducing our first speaker, Rafael. So big applause.
My name is Petra Norbeck, and I'm here with my colleagues Helena, Björn, and Veronica. Yes, and both I and Björn studied here at SSE, so we think it's super exciting to be here. We all work at Diplomat Communications, which is one of the leading advisors within strategic communications in Sweden, and we mainly operate within 3 areas of communications. Which is public affairs, corporate communications, and investor relations. And we have offices in both Brussels and Stockholm. And in case you want to know more about Diplomat Communications or the internship opportunities that we provide, you're most welcome to come and talk to any of us during the breaks. We will be standing by these, I think. And we are super happy at Diplomat to have been given the opportunity to sponsor the TEDx event at SSE, because sharing ideas in a well-reasoned and effective way is something that we truly believe in at Diplomat. And just like TED, we believe in the power of ideas actually changing the world. And we also believe that young talents have a crucial part in doing so. And one of those talents is Rafael, who is standing outside there waiting to be introduced. And Rafael he has been living in several countries and continents, and during this time he's made a lot of friends. And not only that, he has managed to maintain all those long-distance friendships. So today he's going to talk, and he is also a master's student here, of course. And today he's going to talk to us about applying economic theory to the world of friendships. And in doing so, he's going to provide us with new exciting insights. And since I took my master's in economics, I think it's going to be very, very interesting to hear what he's got to say. So please give it up for Rafael.
Hey everybody, my name is Rafael, and today I want to talk to you about something we rarely consciously think about. However, It is something very central to human life. It's very central to human identity. We start experiencing it when we are young, while we are growing up, when we are adults, until we grow old. It sometimes lasts forever. It's a cause of joy, of pleasure, of happiness, and it truly makes our lives worthwhile. Friendship. Today, I want to talk about the economics of friendship. But what is friendship? If I would ask you right now for a word you associate with friendship, I would probably get very different responses. Happiness, support, understanding, love. Well, everyone defines friendship differently. However, we all share the same happiness when we hang out with our friends, the same pleasure when we do something with them, and the best moments we spend together with them. Friends are all around us. Every single one of us is a friend of someone else. The only way to have a friend is to be one. Already more than 2,000 years ago, the Greek philosopher Aristotle had friends. Even though he was what we would nowadays probably call a nerd, he had a lot of friends. He had so many friends that he had to cluster them. Aristotle put his friends into 3 categories. The first category are friends of pleasure. In this case, 2 individuals engage in friendship because of the pleasure they derive from each other. This would be you and me, and we both like to listen to the same band, and we enjoy going to a concert together. The second group, these are friends of utility. Friends of utility are very selfish. They use each other to derive a benefit. The perfect example would be 2 friends, they only study together, or most of the friends we encounter at work. The last category, Aristotle defines as true friends. True friends are friends of goodness. Their happiness is your happiness. Their sadness is your sadness. And their problems, well, they are your problems. Even though we might not consciously cluster our friends like Aristotle did, we all exactly know what friendship is. However, we rarely critically think about it. I hadn't critically thought about it until I lost a very good friend. We had been friends since childhood, and no one would have thought this would ever happen. We took different paths in life, but once we met again a couple of months ago, one would have thought there would be so much to talk about. Well, there wasn't. There was this awkward feeling, this silence, and 2 friends who always had so much to tell each other had changed. They had changed so much that they didn't enjoy hanging out together anymore. This experience made me think. It made me seek explanations, and I started analyzing my social relations. I am an economics student. And what do economists do? Economists like to quantify the world. Economists, they like to analyze the world, and they try and like to explain it in fancy models. Today, I want to take you onto a journey to the world of the economics of friendship. I want to explore with you 2 simple and elementary models you might remember from your microeconomics class that can explain social human interactions. And even though if you have never been awake throughout an entire economics class, I hope that this will capture your interest. During my life, I have moved abroad for several times. And every time I do, I find myself in the same situation. I arrive in a new country, and I quickly realize that I'm alone. Alone by myself, and I have no friends. And it doesn't take long until I meet the first people, and the very first social relations evolve. And there's this moment, once you realize that you have made your very first friend. This new friendship causes happiness. The friendship causes a lot of happiness. Finally, I have someone to hang out with. But with the second, the third, the 10th friend we acquire, this happiness diminishes. If you think about it, and you might want to impress your friends once you go home, this is a logarithmic function of happiness derived from the number of friends. Economists use the word utility for happiness, and the additional benefit one gets from committing to an additional friendship is called marginal utility. So as the number of friends increases, the marginal utility derived from additional friend decreases. My day has 24 hours, and my week has only 7 days. And next to the duties in life, I can only spend a limited amount of time with my friends. This is where opportunity costs come into play. The opportunity cost of meeting a new potential friend is the value of the alternative of meeting my existing friends. While meeting a new friend, I have this negative feeling of missing out on seeing my existing friends. This negative utility is defined as opportunity costs. Opportunity costs at the initial stage are relatively low, as I do not really have someone to hang out with. But with the increasing amount of friends, the cost of meeting a potential new friend increases dramatically. This leads to a quadratic function that expresses the increasing marginal costs at an increasing rate. Now that I have analyzed the market for friendship, I want to maximize my utility derived from friendships. What is the optimal amount of friendships? Looking at the plot, one can see that marginal utility derived from my friendship intersects with marginal costs at exactly this point. And this is where marginal benefits are equal to marginal costs. And from this point onwards, the costs of an additional friend are larger than the actual benefit, the increased utility from this new friendship. Economists would say this is the equilibrium point. This is the equilibrium point that maximizes the utility derived from friendship. Our world is constantly changing, and several years ago, something occurred that revolutionized our friendships. You might guess what it is. Facebook. Facebook has enabled the revolution of social networking. Facebook enables us to constantly stay in touch with our friends, no matter where they are. Looking at my Facebook profile, I can see that I have over 1,000 Facebook friends. But more than half of them I don't even know. So, not all of them are true friends. Some of them are friends of pleasure, others are friends of utility, and some of them are just contacts in my social network. Only very few of them are true friends. But let's see how Facebook changes the equilibrium of friendship. Through Facebook, we are enabled to connect and stay in touch with more friends at the same time. Geographical boundaries are revoked, and the opportunity cost of meeting new friends is decreased. This means that the innovation of Facebook shifts the marginal cost function downwards, and we can increase the total amount of friends in our network. Isn't that great? Well, it depends. It can be that increasing amount of friends also increases overall happiness. But of course, this depends on the individual characteristic. Every individual has different preferences, and for some, more friends are better than less friends. But for the other, less friends leave more time to invest into the quality of the friendship and enables them to maximize their utility at a lower equilibrium point. At this point, I want to introduce my second economic principle, game theory, which is a study of strategic decision making. Friendships contain many decisions. Game theory can help us to make decisions and analyze them in a simple way. Imagine these two individuals. Let's call them Hans and Friedrich, because that's what German names are like. And both Hans and Friedrich, they have plenty of friends. But this morning, Hans and Friedrich, they met for the very first time. And they got into a quick chat. And they came along quite well, so they decided to exchange phone numbers. And both Hans and Friedrich, they both want to go out tonight. And both of them have two choices. They can either hang out with their existing friends and spend a night that will certainly give them pleasure and happiness, or they can go both out with a new friend. Let's say the utility they derive from a night with their existing friends is 1. But Hans can also call up Friedrich and invite him to hang out together. But since they don't really know each other, there's this uncertainty. This uncertainty about the expected utility derived from spending the night with Friedrich. It could be that they will both come along very well and have a great experience, but it could also end up as a complete nightmare. Well, let's denote this uncertain expected utility as A. Well, now it could happen that Hans would like to hang out with Friedrich, but Friedrich prefers to spend the night with his existing friends. Hans will be disappointed, and it might be already too late to call up his existing friends. In this case, the utility of Hans will be 0. He will be spending the night alone at home, being disappointed. Instead, Friedrich will be going out with his existing friends and will derive a utility of 1. Of course, we can imagine the same situation, just swapping Hans and Friedrich. Analyzing this normal form table, we can see that there's no clear decision. No clear decision to choose. The decision depends on the preferences, the utility, the risk aversion. The decision depends on the value of A. The expected utility of hanging out with a new person, and everyone will feel differently about this. Let's assume that the maximum utility we can possibly derive from spending a night with a new person is equal to the utility we derive from spending the night with our existing friends. So it is equal to 1. The minimum utility we will derive from this night is equal to the utility of a night home alone, so equal to 0. We can clearly see, no matter how the probabilities are distributed, the expected utility from meeting this new contact will be smaller than 1. This gives the rational individual only one choice. The choice of spending the night with his existing friends. We all know this. It is too comfortable to resist settling in our social networks and get stuck in the lower right corner. The steps out of this safe and secure environment are hard. Too hard to actually be made. Now, I want to terminate my speech with giving you a challenge. For some, it might be a challenge for tonight, for others, a challenge for several weeks, and hopefully some of you will take on the challenge forever. In about 2 minutes, when I'm done talking and the applause has vanished, there will be a break. And I would be willing to bet that almost all of you will have this feeling, this urge, this impulse, these itchy fingers that make you grab into your pocket, take out your phone, and connect to Facebook. Connect to your friends and share with them the amazing moment you're experiencing right now. But there's a problem. Once you take out your phone and enter your social media, you are seizing the amazing moment because you're entering the world of Facebook. So the challenge is, resist it. Resist this urge and better look around. Stay present with us and start a conversation with whoever is next to you. I mean, you are cool and you are here. Chances are pretty high that other people in here are cool too. And I guarantee you, once you do this, you will experience this freedom, this openness, and you will hopefully encounter this new friend, which has just been waiting out there for you. Thank you.
Thank you for that amazing speech. I know I at least have accepted now your challenge never to take my friends for granted when I'm at a social event like this and try to pull out my phone. I will try to stick to that. Now we will have the ticket released. We have prepared a link for it, and we will take around a 10-15 minutes break where you can, as I said before, go purchase a beer or cider. And if you want to buy the tickets for the main event on the 23rd of April, same time as now, 18 to 21 in the evening, then you're free to do so. There will also be a dinner included in that price.